Monk, your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
You know what I mean.
American Fiction is a story about a man named Thelonious Monk Ellison. Monk is his nickname in honor of the great composer, pianist, Thelonious Monk. And Monk is a writer. He wants to be creatively and intellectually his own man. He wants to be free. But what he writes about isn't necessarily the most popular stuff on the shelf. So out of frustration, after being introduced by a writer named Sintara Golden, played by the one and only Issa Rae, who has written a novel that Monk probably feels is beneath himself.
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray is gonna be a real father this time around.
Monk is frustrated by her success, and he decides as a joke to write a book, a similar book, under an assumed name, Staggar Lee, and he sends it off to publishers, and out of the blue, it becomes his most successful novel that he's ever written.
It's a joke, the most lucrative joke you've ever told.
Meanwhile, he's living this dual life, as this writer, trying to survive all of the preconceptions and prejudices against him and what he'd like to do, but at the same time he's struggling what in some ways is an ordinary struggle with keeping his family together.
They ran 300,000 copies.
Your books change people's lives.
They're offering $4 million for the movie rights.
Yes! The dumber I behave, the richer I get.
What was the biggest trope or stereotype that you've seen in Hollywood when it comes to Black people that you're happy the film is highlighting and tackling?
Identity. I spend my whole life, and if you look at my resume, I have a whole media company called Color Farm Media. One of the things that we say we want to do is rebrand Blackness, and this is part of it. So I feel like hopefully I attracted this opportunity to myself, but it was great that Cord Jefferson understood that when he was reading Percival Everett's novel, that not only it was speaking to him directly as a filmmaker, but he thought that it was filmed to a wider audience. And it wasn't just Black people. It was people who understand story, understand the dilemma of being, boxed in. And I'm seeing that happen, and it's very exhilarating to be part of that story.
We are living in a time where it's starting to become not just in vogue to tell stories with diverse people, but it's becoming commercially viable, right? And that people are seeing that movies with us in them are not just appealing to people who look like us, but other people can find their humanity inside of us, right? It is something that we've been asked to do for the majority of our lives. As little kids, you pretend to be Superman or Batman and they don't look anything like you. And so now little kids who don't look like us are pretending to be Black Panther or Miles Morales. And I'm getting really happy and excited about the idea that the human experience is universal, be you Black or otherwise. Hopefully, if this movie does well, it could open the doors for other studios to take chances on movies like it that focus us at the center, that do well in our community and the world at large. That's the hope.
It's a tough thing, but I don't think any one film can do it. This is not the first time this conversation has happened, whether it's Spike Lee or Robert Townsend or these types of things, and it happens in other communities, certainly, but with African Americans, even more so. We often have to legitimize ourselves through the filter of these types of really damaging stereotypes that comes from, white supremacy and colonialism and all of that. And we all want to tell a truer story for ourselves, because humanity, meaning being human, is more important than being any one thing.
Ideally, our success will continue as the film is released, and there'll be a recognition that there is space and a desire for more stories across the spectrum of human experience that, are told from the perspective of Black folk or whomever else. Because what I think is wonderful about our film is that it's an open invitation to anyone from any background to go on this journey with this man and with this family, because there's a universality to it. And I think at the end of the day, that's what the film speaks to on a simple level, that yes, Monk is a Black man. Yes, this is a Black family, but at the core, we are human. It's a simple story or a simple idea, but told, I think, in a wonderfully layered and nuanced way. And that's our film, American Fiction.
Do